Today our team members received a cease and desist order in behalf of Activision Publishing in relation to the H2M mod project. We are complying and shutting down all operations immediately and permanently. Whoa, you might be like, wow, Muda, you're starting off with some real positivity here. I hate Activision. I really, honest to God, anytime I see a game company do stuff like this with fan-made mods, it drives me insane. Whether it be Nintendo, whether it be Activision in this case, whether it be Rockstar, anyone, it drives me up the ass. So to give you an idea, Activision is one of the largest game publishers, owned by one of the largest tech companies, Microsoft, and they make an independent game known as Call of Duty. Now, I've been playing Call of Duty primarily since COD 4, so I'm pretty much an old head. Now, I'm not a great Call of Duty player. I'm certainly not as good as the Adderall-infused children that play the game nowadays, flying through maps and instant locking to your head. Maybe I'm getting a little too old. I personally think the peak of the franchise was Black Ops 2, okay? One of the best games ever made, all right, multiplayer-wise. Now, one of the other good games that Activision cooked with, Infinity Ward, was Modern Warfare 2, 2008, okay? Gotta specify it because there's two Modern Warfare 2s, all right? That's how wild this franchise is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just start off by saying over here, obviously, IPs and copyrights belong to people that produce software, and ultimately, Activision can do whatever they want legally. Just because they can, it doesn't make it ethical. Anyways, so to give you an idea, around November, I want to say 2023, I made a video where I actually talked about Call of Duty games. And I talked about offline mods for them, right? Things like Plutonium, offline versions of these titles where you could actually play through the Call of Duty multiplayer progression tree offline. So basically, if you wanted to play Black Ops from level 1 to level 50, you could effectively just download a mod and just play through it and experience the addictive nature of leveling up your character, unlocking new guns, unlocking attachments for the guns, unlocking perks, pro perks, everything, okay? There's a reason why Call of Duty is like crack in some cases. Now, Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion, was like one of the best sequels that you could ever make to Modern Warfare 1. You know, the multiplayer suite had a whole ton of new amazing maps. You had a shit ton of weapons, attachments. You had kill streaks, multiple kill streaks you could customize and switch from. And let's not forget the perks, the pro perks, the ability for you to mess up the entire game with set perks like One-Man Army Pro, Danger Close Pro. Enjoy grenade launching everyone from across the map, okay, constantly. Get in the Harrier, get in the chopper gunner, get in the fucking nuke. That kind of stuff is what people live for. It was a period of Call of Duty where you buy the game for $60, and aside from a couple map packs, everything is in the game. You unlock the weapons. You unlock the cosmetics through challenges. And while you can do that in Call of Duty nowadays, they're too busy selling you like $30 versions of skins from games like Diablo and crossovers like that. It's insanity. But, ladies and gentlemen, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 had this mod coming out, H2M mod, and obviously, as you saw in the beginning of the video, they got shut down, cease and desisted. Now, this Friday, this mod was supposed to release, and, it's one of those things where I asked this team, I was really excited for it, and back in November 2023, I kind of saw the writing on the wall when they messaged me back and said, just to clarify, this is a mod for MW1 using MW2 CR assets. So Activision made Modern Warfare 2 the campaign remastered, okay? Somehow they just didn't bother to make the multiplayer remastered. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have the money. Maybe they didn't care. They probably didn't care. So you know what happens? The community comes in and says, fine, Activision, we'll do the work for you, because why not? And you know the fun part? We're not going to draw a salary. We're not going to charge for the project. Now, I understand companies, they'll issue a cease and desist for people that distribute game assets, right? And obviously, in many cases, you can understand it. But it's really wild when there is a sale that took place literally this week for a game you had to purchase. Again, you had to buy Modern Warfare 1 Remastered, which is still on Steam. It was up there for sales. And this cease and desist came out right as soon as the sale for that game ended, okay? So Activision was totally okay with letting this company advertise and build up this hype in the community. I was excited this Friday. I was ready to play some MW2 again, all right? Classic Call of Duty without all the crazy shit nowadays. They were excited as hell to let them advertise, make those sales, and as soon as that Modern Warfare 1 sale stops, they send out the legal cease and desist, and the whole project goes kaput. Done. That is so malicious, in my opinion, that I have to imagine they knew well in advance they had the full ability to shut this down. They let the hype build up. They made whatever little tiny crumb of cash they could in comparison to everything else and just fucked off with it. But in doing so, burned a lot of goodwill with the community. Now, obviously, this is something where it's actually sad because I was actually invited by these guys to play the mod a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, due to work and a couple other things that popped up, I couldn't actually play this game early. So unfortunately, I was like, all right, fine. I'm just going to play with the rest of the community members on Friday and just enjoy my time. Unfortunately, that's not ever going to happen because not only did the entire project stop, but the master server has stopped. So even people that are distributing files around, which don't download any file in relation to this project because there's a high degree of malware, it seems, floating around. This is a dead game and project, okay? It is dead. Activision has killed it, and they don't really want to turn it around. Now, there's been people speculating that apparently this is because that Black Ops 6's beta is coming out in 2 weeks that they decided to shut this project down. I think that's utter nonsense. There is no way this project was going to be superseding so much, press away from that or player base away from Black Ops 6's beta. This is going to be a small project all the time. Now, if you go to the actual Steam charts for this, it's funny because before hype on this mod started building, it was basically dead, all right? Modern Warfare Remastered was a dead project. Literally, at best, 28 fucking people were playing this game, all right? Just enough to fill a ground war lobby. And then, because of the hype that was building up, you had 2,557 players at its peak. You're looking at a plus 5,458% gain in the last 30 days for people playing Modern Warfare Remastered multiplayer. And that's just, by the way, on Steam, one platform. So no matter how many people jumped onto this mod, it was never going to overtake Call of Duty's actual official offerings. It wasn't going to do that. It was literally designed for people in the community that just wanted to re-experience a mod with their friends. And that's pretty much what it came down to. Now, in other cases, there's plenty of projects where obviously I don't think companies care about modders. Literally a couple days ago, I was playing through Doom 2 Ray Traced, which is a great mod, by the way. Amazing work done on actually building Doom 2 to match up to visual standards of video games today. A game that, by the way, is absolutely destroying my graphics card as I play it. But it's worth playing because Doom 2 is not just an amazing game. The ray traced version of it is a goddamn delight to watch. Again, a mod built entirely for free by the community just for people to breathe new life into video games. Same thing with this, except Activision unfortunately kills it. Now, it's one of those things where even with games like this, you have projects like Save MGO2, which, we've always crapped on Konami, but in times like this, I have to say this is how you treat old members of your community. Metal Gear Online 2 is a dead game. You can't even play Metal Gear Solid 4 officially on PlayStation products, current PlayStation products. What has happened is these community members have literally made a private server for a video game that currently 112 people play. And that's a lot of people on average right now. And you know what Konami hasn't done? Absolutely take it down. Or yet. I hope to God they never will, because this is one of those things that keeps something old alive. Yeah, Activision jumped in and pretty much shat in the mouths of people that were excited for their old franchise. And for what? I mean, Modern Warfare Remastered was literally being sold for good money. And then, of course, as that sale ends, they immediately ship out the cease and desist and kill an entire mod right here. And the thing is, the grand majority of the player base probably won't care. Black Ops 6 will probably sell sales records or something. But it's just one of those things where Activision was not threatened at all in this scenario. They literally were not. It's not as if the developers for this mod project were going to make bucket loads of cash. It's not as if redistributing these specific assets for a mod for a game that had to be bought and money had to be paid to Activision in the first place was ultimately going to cause an issue. You know, what they could have actually done is probably find a way to work with this mod team, because if you look at some of the footage for it, it is genuinely impressive. Like in this footage right over here, you can see that Modern Warfare 2 Remastered plays effectively as you can imagine the original 2008 version did, with an updated coat of paint. And ultimately, this was just meant for people to have a good weekend of gaming on and call it a day. And it's something that honestly Activision could have done years ago when they released the campaign Remastered, but they didn't. The community banded together to build this off of the backbone of Modern Warfare Remastered's multiplayer. And from what I'm seeing, it's about everything you could have expected from an actual big budget AAA corporate release. Except the community decided to do it, again, entirely for free. I have to keep reminding people that the most important aspect of the story is that in order to even play this game, you had to give money to Activision, and they were totally content in taking it until they found out, oh, it's up for release literally in 24 hours? Yep, just killed the community's fun right there. Activision is hands down one of the... honestly, like, Nintendo is far less evil. I know people meme about Nintendo all the time, but like Activision... this is like maliciously evil. Their lawyers were actually watching it like a hawk. They could have done this months in advance to save these people time. But ultimately, what is at least the only saving grace out of this is the people behind this project are not giving up. Sure, they might not make MW Remastered because they can't. But at least they'll focus their efforts on a game that is entirely their own. And with the effort that they've shown, at least understanding how to put these mods together, I'm sure that they can put together a game that the community can back around. But yeah, moral of the story, Activision is trash. Unfortunately, they're still going to be sitting in bucket loads of money. It's just a shame that one mod, and I was excited for this mod, is unfortunately now killed. But yeah, anyways, I'm out.